Hi. In this video, we're going to start working on some of the tutorials in Chapter 6 of the book I use for my class. First one is called Creating and Calling Methods. So this one's going to use a project that's already been started. So it's got the interface already completed for us. And then what it's going to do is simulate a light being turned on or off. So we've got some details about the specific property settings. The light on picture box controls visible property is initially set to true. The light off picture box controls visible property is initially set to false. The light state label displayed either on or off while the application runs to indicate whether the light is on or off. Initially, this controls text property is set to on. At runtime, when the user clicks the switch light button, the state of the light is reversed. In other words, if the light is currently on, it will be turned off. If the light is currently off, it will be turned on. When the light is turned on, the following actions take place. The light on picture box controls visible property is set to true. The light off picture box controls visible property is set to false. The light state labels text property is assigned the string on. When the light is turned off, the following actions take place. The light off picture box controls visible property is set to true. The light on picture box controls visible property is set to false. And the light state labels control property is assigned the string off. So to modularize the code, we're going to create a method named turn light on containing the code to turn the light on, and another method named turn lights off containing the code to turn the light off. When you need to turn the light on, you call the turn light on method, and when you need to turn the light off, you call the turn light off method. So let's go ahead and get started with this. Got Visual Studio here. I'm going to go ahead and open the project. So this is in my Chapter 6 folder here, and lights. And it will again go through this stuff with the error messages on here. There we go. So we only have the one message about the .NET 6.0 because I had set this up to 100% already, so I didn't have to worry about that. So this is the way it looks. We're going to change this later on, like I did in the other ones with this stuff. So let's go ahead and we'll get ready to start setting up the code. So what I'm going to do is double click on the switch light. We're not going to do anything with this one yet. We're going to put in the code for the other ones first. We're going to do a turn lights on user method. So I'm going to go in here, and so this is going to be a private void because we're not passing anything out of this. Turn light on. We need the parentheses there because it's a method. We don't have any parameters to put in there, but that's okay. You still have to have the parentheses. So we're going to do a light on picture box dot visible is going to be equal to true, and light off picture box dot visible is going to be equal to false. And then we're going to do our light state label dot text is going to be equal to on. That's everything in that one. So we're going to go to the end of here and press enter twice to get some spacing in there, and we'll create our next one. Private void turn light off. So in this one, it's going to be similar. We're just going to change it around on what the visibles are. So light off picture box dot visible is going to be equal to true. Light on picture box dot visible be equal to false. And then our light state label dot text is going to be equal to off. Okay, so those are the ones that we create. So now what we're going to do is our switch button. Put the code in for this. So all we're going to do here is have an if statement to set this up. If light on picture box dot visible equals true, then we're going to turn light off. Okay, that's the end of the if part. Else we're going to turn light on. Okay, that's the whole thing. So we'll call which one of these that we need based on the setting that it is at the beginning. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back and we'll get our exit button. And let's try this out and see what happens when we run it. Okay, so we click, it's right now, it says it's on. Click our switch, it's off. Click our switch, it's on. Oh, that one didn't show up, something happened there. So we're gonna exit out of this and see if we can figure out what's wrong with this, okay? So if the light picture box dot visible equals true, then we're going to call turn light off. In turn light off picture box dot visible equals true. Light on picture box dot visible equals false. Light state label dot text equals off, okay, because we turned it off. Otherwise, we're going to call turn light on. Turn light on, light off picture box equals true is wrong. It should be light on picture box. So there's where the error was. So take this out of here and put on in there. We're going to turn it on, and then light off picture box dot visible equals false, and then the label state equals on. So that's why you do these checks on these before you like ask somebody to do this or whatever. I want to check one other thing here. I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to click on my picture box here, the on, and check the visible is true, and check the off, and the visible is false. So that's good. Okay, one of them needs to be true, and the other one needs to be false when we first start up here. Okay, so there we go. We got it on. Switch is off. Switch is on. Off. On. Off. On. So everything works great. Now again, we can make this look a little bit better if we take this picture box, get it to go here. There we go. Move it over more toward the center, and put this one on top of it, like that. Okay. Now when we run it, click it, and it actually looks like somebody's pulling the cord string on that to turn it on and off, or the light switch. Okay. So I hope that everybody got that and understands how that one worked. So we'll go on to the next one. Next one is a tutorial on how to pass an argument to a method. So this one's going to be called cards. We're going to complete this one, so we already got it ready to go. We're going to have 3 picture boxes. The picture box controls show the images of 3 cards. Each picture box controls visible property is set to false, so they do not initially appear when the application runs. After you complete the application, the user can select a card's name from the list box, click the Show Card button, and the image of the selected card will appear. So that's what we're going to do here. So first thing we need to do is open up the cards project. It's located in the same folder as where the lights were. There's cards. Get this opened up here. Go. Get rid of that there. Okay, so we have our 3 cards and the names of the cards in here. And if we click on these and look at them, visible is false, and that should be the same for all 3 of that. That one's false and that one's false. Okay, so let's go into our show card, and we'll put the code in here. So this is going to be private void because we're not passing anything out. Why don't you So something wrong with my keyboard again. This happened before. So I'm going to go ahead and close this off and not save it. And then I'll open up Visual Studio again. And open project. Okay, so there's the, oh, we gotta wait for it to load the design. Okay, so there's the design. I lost my 100%, went back to 120%, so that's okay. And if I have to adjust it, I will later. So there's the code, but I don't have anything in there yet. So let's go ahead and double click on the show again. Okay, so we'll do this again. We got our private show card is already set up on here on the show card button. And so we'll do that. So actually this is a new one that we're creating here. So this is private void show card passing in string card. Okay. And then in here we're going to have a switch. And what we're going to switch with is going to be based on the card that we passed in. So we're going to do a case, ace of spades. And this has to be spelled right on here. Follow that with a colon. We're going to call show ace spades, parentheses and parentheses, not passing anything in, semicolon, and then break. Okay, now notice that the show ace spades is underlined because we haven't created that yet, so it doesn't know where that is. So we're going to do a case, 10 of hearts, and then we're going to have show 10 HERTS, parentheses and parentheses, and our break, and then case king of clubs, then show king clubs. Okay, and our break. Okay, so that then ends our switch, and it also ends our method. So we'll go down here and we'll do another one. This one's going to be our show ace spades, so private, void, show ace spades. Notice when we do that, this is no longer underlined up here. So this one we're going to have ace, spades. Oops, just type it in the wrong place here. Does that with my touch pad. I don't like it, but I have to use it because I don't have a mouse. Ace, spades, picture box, dot, visible, equals true. 10 hearts, picture box, dot, visible. Hands on the wrong keys, I guess. Equals false. And king clubs, picture box, dot, visible, equals false. Okay, so that takes care of that one. We'll go down to the next one. It's going to be the show 10 hearts. Hearts, parentheses, end parentheses, curly brace. Scroll this down a little bit so we can get up to more toward the top of the screen. So that's underlined there because we haven't put anything in there yet. I want to make sure that this... Oh, I didn't put the void on the front of this. So this is a nice thing about some of these now that they have the built-in checking to make sure that you're doing things the way that they're supposed to be done. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste these down below here. They won't be in the same order as what they have in the book, but it makes it a little bit faster. On this one, though, the 10 of hearts is the true one. So I'm going to change the ace of spades to false and the 10 of hearts to true. Okay? Then we got to do the next one. Private, void, king of clubs. And again, I'm going to just take these and copy and paste them down below and then just change the true and falses on them so it'll work for this one. So the ace of spades is false. The 10 of hearts will be false. And the king of clubs will be true. Okay, so we got all those set. I don't see any underlines or any of those, so everything looks good. So then we want to do our show card button, which we clicked on that, so it's set up and ready to go. Just got to put the code in for this. So in here, we're just going to check to see if card list box dot, we want selected index there you go, selected index does not equal -1, which means we have something selected, which is what we need. We're going to do show card, passing in card list box dot selected item dot toString. So all this in there. Do our else. message box dot show is going to be, please select a card from, and my notes got cut off, so I'm just going to do this because I don't know where that went on here. It's going to do from the list box. Okay. And that's it on that. So now what we need to do is our exit button. So go back over to the form, double click on exit. Just that close. Okay, so this is underlined here because there is a possibility that we won't use it. And that's if this is equal to -1, it will go down here instead of using that. So that's why it's underlined in green, to kind of give you that option to say, wait a minute, you may not use this in this program. Okay, so let's see what happens. Oh, got an error someplace. Where did I do wrong here? Let's see. So show king clubs does not exist. So I misspelled something in here. I don't have show on here. I think it's supposed to be show king clubs. It should be the same thing as what's up above. So let's double check that. So up here is, yeah, show king clubs, and then down here should be show king clubs. So I misdid that one. So let's see if we got anything else in here. Oh, looks like it's going to do that. Okay, all of them are invisible. We're going to click on, I'm going to click on show. Get the message box. Oops, I forgot to select one of them. So we'll do the ace of spades. There's it. We can do the 10 of hearts. There's it. We can do the king of clubs. Okay, so they all work. Now, again, I'm going to go back and redo this. This is in a panel here. So I'm going to pull these out of here. And just set these all down here to get these out of this panel. I'm going to delete the panel out. Okay. And then I'm going to set all these cards right in the center. Like that. And let's run it again. Okay. Ace of spades. 10 of hearts. King of clubs. Since we're not showing all the cards at the same time, there's no reason to have them spread out like that. So it's just, it's really up to the way that you want to run the program and stuff, but just another way of being able to do that. Okay, I'm going to stop with this one, and